Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending where you are across the world, as we build up for the first of the semi-finals. Us spinning with you across the commentary up to JB Sports, Storm FM, and Talks Football, and our very own Twitch channel as well. It's the first semi-final. It's time for big ones now. 4 teams remain in the competition, but 2 will get through to the final. You'll find out shortly from this first semi-final between Argentina and Croatia with Russ Ferdinand and Paul James in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. So big game tonight, and the first semi-finals. This is taking place at the Lucille Stadium, north of Doha. It's 2 big heavyweights of world football. Argentina against Croatia. Lionel Messi against Luka Modric. Only one of them will face either Morocco or France in the final. But which one will it be? You'll have to stay tuned with us as we guide you through the game this evening. Myself and Paul are with you. And this is my final match of the World Cup. On the commentary hub as we get ready for action. The teams are out on the field ahead of kickoff. The teams are just emerging from the tunnel. Lionel Messi, the captain of Argentina, as I mentioned, and the captain of Croatia is that of Luka Modric. What a big, fascinating game, and what a prospect we have got in store for you. 2 of the players in the Argentina lineup in Rodrigo de Paul and Leandro Paredes will make their 50th caps for their country. And in the Croatian side, Mateo Kovacic will make his 90th appearance for his country. It's going to be a big night in store where one of these teams will go through to Sunday's final. Which one will it be? I wonder. And before we run you through the team news, let me hand over to our co-commentator for the first time this evening. And let's say a very good evening to Paul James, who is alongside me once again. He was alongside me on Saturday afternoon, and he's back alongside me today. Paul, how are you doing, my friend? You okay?
Very well, thanks, Russ. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Looking at both of these 2 teams, Russ, I think the first thing that springs to mind is discipline. With the final just 1 game away, and Argentina have got 4 yellow cards in the starting lineup, 2 on the bench. Croatia have 3 yellow cards in their starting lineup, 2 on the bench. It's going to take discipline by both of these teams to avoid losing players in the final. I believe Messi is one of those players on a yellow card, so he's going to have to be extra specially careful tonight.
He will do, Paul. He will, my friend. And Paul, looking at both sides, I've mentioned that Lionel Messi and Luka Modric are both captains, both coming towards the end of their careers now. Do you expect one of those, to approach this one, knowing this could be their final appearance and their final to win the World Cup?
Well, I think Messi's already mentioned that it's his final appearance. Modric is 37, so it's probably going to be his final appearance as well. I think, to be honest with you, I don't think it changes the way both players play. I think both players are team players. The fact that they haven't won a World Cup may well be at the back of their minds, and they're focused on getting their individual teams through to the final rather than themselves. I don't think it kind of changes the style that they play. I think they're both very good professionals, both of them team players.
Yes, and I've just been reading here, Paul, as you mentioned about the players on yellow cards. And one thing to point out, which I'm not sure if you knew this, I thought I had an idea that it wasn't the case, but I've just been reading here the yellow cards would have carried over from the group stage, meaning a player would be from the group stage would get suspended for the quarter final with the round of 16, or suspended for the semi final with the yellow card in the quarter final. But pending yellow cards will not be carried over from the quarter-finals to the semi-finals, which means if any of the players that you mentioned are on bookings already pick up a booking tonight, they will not be suspended for the final. So those who are already on bookings will not be suspended for the final this in the World Cup, which I think majority of them, it'll be a big relief for them to know that they will not be suspended should they pick up a booking tonight.
Well, of course, that means both sides come out with a clean sheet, then, don't they? Both sides are clear on yellow cards. Argentina, of course, have got 2 suspended already. Montiel and the other fellow that's suspended is Acuna. So they're 2 men down. But if these cards have been wiped clean as of the quarterfinals, that means they both start without cards for the semi-finals. Yeah. I still feel that they ought to be a bit more disciplined. Argentina's behaviour the other day was repugnant.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely, my friend. We look at the starting lineups now for Argentina, it's Emi Martinez between the sticks, Melina, Romero, Otamendi, and Tagliafico across the back, De Paul, Fernandez, Paredes, McAllister in midfield, with Lionel Messi the captain, alongside Julian Alvarez in attack. Alejandro Gomez, either he's out through injury, Marcus Acuna and Zolo Montiel miss out through suspension. There is the referee, which is Danilo Orsoto from Italy, Ciro Cabot, Alessandro Galatini from Italy, or the assist, or is this the two on the field? I'm going through the rest of the minutes. Here's the Croatia side. There's Livakovic in goal, Juranovic, Lovren, Gvardiol, and Sosa across the back. Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic in midfield, with Palasic, Kramaric, and Perisic leading the Croatian attack. The rest of the officials and the fourth official is Abdullah Mohammed from the United States Arab Emirates. Also from the United Arab Emirates is a reserve assistant, Mohammed El Amade. VAR is Massi Milano Irati from Italy. Paolo Valeri from Italy is the assistant VAR. The offside VAR is Catherine Nesbitt. Juan Soto is the support VAR, and the support assistant VAR is Kyle Atkins from the United States of America. As the game is off and underway, then Croatia in their strip of all dark strip tonight, dark blue. Croatia in their light blue and white shirts. Should be a good one, as he so said, knocking the ball back to Gvardiol and all the way back then to the goalkeeper there, Livakovic. And I wonder, Paul, if we'll be saying the Great Wall of Livakovic tonight, like it was in the quarter final against Brazil, which they prevailed with a penalty shootout victory. Is Gvardiol again for Croatia to get the ball forward? Will he? No, he'll go back, and he'll have to go back to his goalkeeper, Livakovic, who will play across the back, then to Dejan Lovren, and he'll look to come forward up towards halfway. From a Liverpool man. But his ball is cut out as here comes Argentina with possession. Good control, and he's out of play for a throw to Argentina. We're playing here at the Lusail Stadium, just a few miles out of door. And Argentina have the ball at the back with their defender, number 13, is Cristian Romero of Tottenham. And he rolls it across to his centre back partner now in Nicola Otamendi. Otamendi, the former Manchester City player, will look to cause his side a few problems. is the Croatians had a few problems, should I say, as we watch this game unfold. You're listening to us, Vernon, and Paul James, bringing you the coverage of the first semi-final. We've got the second semi-final tomorrow with Mike Ornament and Paul James again as the ball in towards the penalty from the right-hand side from Argentina goes all the way through to the left-hand side and out for a throw-in to Croatia. 2 minutes gone, still 0-0, and that ball in for Molina was a bit poor there, Paul.
Yeah, it was the cross was wayward. He was under a bit of pressure, but there was nobody in there for him either.
Nobody inside the penalty area for him then, as a throwing is taken down. Rodrigo de Paul will pick Argentina to try and come forward to start on foot, get the initiative as the ball is played. Matthews alongside Julian Alvarez as Molina left back, played on the right hand side today. Just did a throw-in and get back on the front foot as we watch. And it should be watch as Argentina just knocking the ball around at the back. Very Romero play the ball in the midfield. Romero there. And there's DePaul again. Play right to the left hand side. We go trying to come for, but there's a please for the grey wall a little bit. Paul.
Yeah, he's going to have to be at his best today. He's going to have to be as good as he was against Brazil because Argentina has a lot of firepower up front.
Well as is defense and do a bit of defense because Romero win this win from Romero. I will give a bit of action today. Unsure of the reason why my volume is playing up a little bit tonight. Unsure of that. We'll try and resolve that if we can. This is here comes on a source now for Croatia down this near side is Mateo Kovacic. It's Luka Modric and now white Ivan Perisic who will come forward. It was a penalty from Ivan Perisic and there's an easy claim from Martinez. He remains 0-0. Good start. Almost 4.5 minutes gone as we bring you this game. This evening should be a good one. Good evening to Luke. Hopefully you're doing okay, my friend. Thank you very much for tuning in. Almost 5 minutes gone then. Argentina 0, Croatia 0. As here comes Fernandez for Argentina, who will come forward. The ball moving forward and keep them. But it remains Argentina 0, Croatia 0. Here they come. Where inside the centre circle, just inside their half. And while just knocking the ball around at the back, very close. 5 minutes with Paul James.
Yes, it's been quite even Stevens early on, hasn't it, Russ? It's both sides have got the ball into the box. They've got the ball down the wings well, but nobody's really created anything yet. I think both sides are just sort of feeling each other out early on.
Yes, and it's still 0-0 then. 5.5 minutes gone then. Argentina 0, Croatia 0 here on the TC Hub. TC Hub 2, JB Sports, Storm FM, Chester Talks Football, and on Twitch. Hopefully everyone is doing okay. As here comes Croatia with Ivan Perisic to play across that far side, and there's a free kick to Argentina. Foul on, I think that's Alexis McAllister that's gone down. And there is a free kick to Argentina. No, it was on Tagliafico there. What do you make of that challenge there, Paul?
Oh, it's late. But he also, at the same time, it's kind of a late challenge. But Tagliafico also tramples a little bit on the Romero's, not Romero, sorry, on the defender's foot there, and he just stumbles over. So I think it's a difficult one to give. I think.
Yes, it remains Argentina no Croatia no. Then as they will have possession of the back, will Argentina just gets it all the way back to Emiliano Martinez in goal. One of three Martinezes in this squad for Argentina. Lautaro and Alessandro are both on the bench. As there is the Croatia manager, Zlatko Dalic, who has done a good job with Croatia and done a good job in this tournament as well. He didn't play for his nation, but he's an ex-footballer, been in charge since 2017. October 2017 to be precise, as Argentina will try and come forward. He's played with Barbozovic back to his goalkeeper Livakovic, who clears away under pressure from Julian Alvarez as the header comes forward there from Paredes. One of the players who make his 50th appearance tonight for Argentina. The other one is Rodrigo de Paul. Congratulations to both of those. And well, Croatia just trying to build up from the back, Paul, with Paredes and de Paul making their 50th appearance tonight for Argentina. What do you make to their performances so far in the competition?
Well, I think DePaul has done very, very well. He's obviously started or been involved at least in all of the games. He's been a significant part of that midfield for Argentina, so he's done very well. Paredes himself also has done very, very well in the centre of the park. I'm interested to see why Argentina are playing a 4-4-2 today. That's the first time I've seen them play that way in the World Cup so far.
Yes, I think it's because of when you look at the backline of Croatia and the midfield too. I think they want to get more bodies in the midfield and have Messi playing in our number 10 so he can drift between the midfield and Alvarez to try and counteract some of the midfield two of Croatia to try and counteract their midfielders and their setup. As here is Cristian Romero just to tidy up well and does extremely well there. As now Rodrigo de Paul gets it back to Molina, who's normally a left back, playing a right back today, as he's cleared downfield. Good to hear that Luke is doing okay, but he says he's extremely tired today. Hopefully not too tired, my friend, and he's hoping for a Croatia win. I won't say who I'm wanting to win, but a few people behind the scenes here the commentary will does know, but I will not let it out during the commentary and remain professional throughout. And then maybe at the end I'll tell you who I wanted to win. Well, if you think you know I want to win, just put it in the chat between us both, and I'll let you know if you're correct after we see this throw from Ivan Perisic with a long throw into the penalty area, and it's headed away there brilliantly by Romero. It breaks for Gvardiol, and Gvardiol's been chased by Lionel Messi, who pushed it all the way back. Now does Gvardiol to his goalkeeper Livakovic, and Croatia will start again. As now Brozovic will have possession. Just inside the Croatian half, and he now finds Sosa. Good bit of footwork this. Back to Gvardiol. As here is Brozovic. As Croatia just taking their time on the possession, trying to work an opening, being patient with their build-up. At the end of the game, unless it goes to extra time, we will let you know. Well, me and Paul will preview tomorrow's semi-final. Let you all know how we think is going to go on. As here is Croatia in possession. As I mentioned already, Paul will be back on commentary tomorrow, stepping in for Luke, who's got a few things on personally. So hopefully those get resolved, my friend. As here comes Kovacic now for Croatia. Good little 1-2 with them. And now it's worked out to Sosa, who's got Perisic down the line. And wonderful sliding challenge there from Cristian Romero, his Tottenham teammate, to get across and defend really, really well and call the ball out for a throw to Croatia there. It's 11.5 minutes gone. Argentina 0, Croatia 0, and we'll get the thoughts of Paul James very shortly. In fact, what we'll do, well, the Croatia have got it out of the way with Dejan Lovren. Let's get the thoughts of Paul James on the opening almost 12 minutes of this game.
Well, both sides are trying to create things. Nobody's kind of sitting back. The problem is that both teams, the final ball into the box isn't there, and a lot of the moves are breaking down. And I don't think they're breaking down because of outstanding defending. I think they're just breaking down by carelessness. It's a little bit scrappy right now, Ross.
It is as Grimaldo picks up possession, plays the ball down the line as here comes Argentina on the ball. Can Argentina create something from this attack? It goes, there's a foul in there by Luka Modric. There on Alexis McAllister. And that's a silly challenge to be making when you're the captain. You're supposed to be leading by example and making a silly challenge like that right in front of the referee. So he's always going to be given as a free kick. As here comes Christian Romero for Argentina into Rodrigo de Paul, who finds Paredes. 100 caps between them both, with both making 50 appearances, their 50th appearance tonight. As the ball is played forward, it's 13 minutes gone, and it's still 0-0 as Croatia will attack with Julian Alvarez over on that far side. Good bit of play into the midfield. Ball through towards Lionel Messi, who goes down on the edge of the penalty area. No free kick, according to the referee there, Daniel Astorto from Italy. We've got Paul Sloss in the middle as Croatia will try and come forward with Bono Sosa. He goes back to Gvardiol, and he will keep hold of possession. Gvardiol across to Dejan Lovren. And here is Luka Modric now. Lovren again. Across into the path of Gvardiol, who will tidy up well. Here's Dejan Lovren, who will send the ball forward. The former Liverpool man now is in St. Petersburg, all the way across to the far side where Juranovic was there inside the penalty and all behind. And there's one. Let's look at this one again, Paul. What did you make of this challenge?
Well, when I look at this, he seems to go over too easily. There's no direct attempt to foul him. At the very best for Messi, is he trips over the guy's leg. It's not a foul for me. And Messi with his diving in the last round against Netherlands, the referee is going to be on his guard.
Yes, it is a throw towards a passage to flick on. He's headed away well there by Argentina, back doing defending with Christian Romero in there alongside is centre-back partner Nicholas Otamendi, who used to be at Manchester City. Nicholas Otamendi. He now plays his club football at Benfica, the 34-year-old. And there's a few Premier League players on show tonight, but if you're tuning in for the very first time this evening, thank you for doing so. You can tweet us if you want. Let us know your predictions. Tweet a Commentary Live 1. And we'll try and read some of those out at half time as he's looking Modric towards the far side. Plays the ball back towards the edge of the penalty and good behind for a corner. And Croatia getting on the front foot at the moment, Paul.
Yeah, this is better from Croatia, including a few moments ago the long pass across the pitch. But look at this. It's far better pressing. The ball across there was blocked well that time, but this is better from Croatia.
Yes, better from Croatia. They've got a corner kick to try and attack. Argentina have got one to defend, and the play is short. Modric has it back. Cross to Juranovic, who delivers a crossing towards the back post, and Lovren. Lovren heads in, and heads it just over. Good bit of defending to pull Lovren off of the back post there from Christian Romero around the back. And also Nicola Otamendi. Both did really well there to put him off.
Yeah, didn't make the header easy there. That was good defending. Both of them went on to challenge him. He couldn't direct his header and ended up heading it over the crossbar. But again, though, better work by Croatia. It's more positive, this.
Good positive play from Croatia. There's Christian Romero just tying his boot up inside his own penalty area. I wonder if he'll have to go off after the physios just came on. But no, he's been allowed to stay on, which is a bit surprising, as Alexis McAllister will go back to Brighton after this weekend, back to club action. On Boxing Day, Brighton return. The Premier League back on Boxing Day. As a ball is flicked off from Julian Alvarez, and here's Guardiola. Lovely bit of work here now. So good full work. Oh, lovely full work. Alvarez out. They're not Alvarez. Kramaric out wide there. Good bit of play from Andre Kramaric. And here comes Argentina to come forward. Can the Argentinians try and get the goal? Will the Croats strike first? There's that cross coming from Sosa, 2 over 8. And he was behind for a goal kick. And Bonus also looked like he's not happy there with his cross into the penalty area, Paul.
Yeah, well, it might be. It was a wayward ball into the box, well out of everybody's way. Disappointing, but you shouldn't be beating himself over it too much. You just gotta pick yourself up and keep going.
Yes, have to pick yourself up and keep going, which is what he'll be trying to do as the game goes on, and try and snuff out the Argentinians' attacks as they have just got hold of possession with Lionel Messi on this near right hand side. Gets it back to Molina, who plays it into Nicola Otamendi. Will look to come forward, will Nicola Otamendi, as they will try and come forward. What can Nicola Otamendi do here? He can get the ball forward, but Argentina can have to get back in numbers because they've got a bit of pressure on them. And there's a free kick given for foul Mateo Kovacic by Christian Romero. Chelsea, Tottenham on Chelsea there, Paul. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a foul. He's got his hands all over him and tripping him up at the same time.
Yes, and if it wasn't him who was going to be going him, and Andrea Paredes was there to foul the Chelsea man. So there was 2-on-1 there, Paul.
Yeah, he was being double teamed there for sure.
Yes, by Juventus and Tottenham player on him there. Juventus and Tottenham on the Chelsea player. 2-on-1 is unfair, that, to be quite honest with you. As here comes Guardiola, who will look to get the ball forward. And now, be interesting to see how this shapes up. 20, almost 19.5 minutes gone. It remains Argentina 0, Croatia 0. If you're tuned in and want to sync your pictures to our TV, I'll tell you how you can do that in a second or so to make sure you've got radio commentary with pictures that you can get as if you want to. Just have the game on the TV channel that you can get it on. Turn the sound down on there. Turn us up, and if we're in front, and if the picture's in front of what you're watching, turn it down or pause it until you can catch your wheels. Or if we're in front, pause us until we get to 10 minutes and be able to keep up with it. As a throw into Argentina to be taken on this near side as the ball went out of play for a throw-in. Rodrigo de Paul just stood there talking to one of the coaching staff of the Argentinians as they will look on. 20 minutes gone then, still 0-0 between Argentina and Croatia. Should Croatia win tonight and France win against Morocco tomorrow, we could have a repeat of the final which happened 4 years ago, which I'm not sure has ever happened before in World Cup history. Do you know if that's ever happened before, Paul, whether the two nations have qualified for the following World Cup?
Yeah, Argentina versus West Germany in 1986 and Argentina versus West Germany in 1990. Argentina won the first one, West Germany won the second.
Yes, if we go by that book and both Croatia and France get through, it'll be Croatia will win this one and France will get the runners-up medal this time around. If we go back to if that's the last time it happens, it's here there'll be a ball forward. I wonder what they can do as Messi tries to come forward. Lionel Messi with a wonderful ball in towards the penalty area, just cut out as he tried to pick out his teammate over on that far side, which was Alexis McAllister. Now Croatia trying to get away. and no foul on Mateo Kovacic. And now Argentina are back in possession and can break forward here now quickly. Wonderful ball into Lionel Messi. Lovely turn from the magician. Still going Lionel Messi, the little magician he is. And some people put him in the GOATs bracket, greatest of all time. If you don't know what GOAT is, as the ball's in towards the penalty area. And he plays for Lionel Messi inside the box. And Shaw comes in and goes down for a goal kick. But Argentina appealed for a free kick on the edge of the box. Nothing given. And then the ball blew for Messi. And he went behind for a goal kick. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just mesmerised at the play by Messi there as he just turns the defender, skittles away from three of them to help create that opportunity. I don't believe it was a foul on the edge of the box, but that was a wonderful move by Messi. That was really showing his quality and his skill.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. A lot of people be very, very pleased with his bit of skill there to try and cause a few problems with. As we see Argentina against Croatia, it means Argentina 0, Croatia 0 in this game as we watch on. The ball is played back, is not out of play for a throw-in. As there's a throw-in over on that far side, there's number 15 for Croatia, which is Mario Pasalic, who's done well in the tournament thus far, as the ball is sent forward and he's nodded away. And now Croatia will try and come forward with possession. What can they do with the ball? They can knock the ball out well and find Borna Sosa, who can pick up on this near side. Sosa can find the Ivan Perisic there as they will come forward. Chip ball downfield, cleared away, and now Argentina will try and break as here's Molina coming forward over halfway. Good play from Argentina just to keep hold of position, make sure the play can't be had by Croatia, as they will just look to knock the ball around well and work their way forward. Here's Lionel Messi. It's been out wide to Rodrigo de Paul. And Rodrigo de Paul plays it into the centre circle, just out of the creation off to Paredes, out wide to Fernandez, and further down the line is McAllister. Tries to get the ball in. He does get the ball across. Borna Sosa there, back clearing up at the back. It goes out of play, bouncing the Croatian technical area, and then Argentina have to come and chase it with Romero gets there, takes the throw in into Paredes. Forward into the edge of the box to McAllister. Good play out wide. And a shot coming in from the edge of the penalty. Good save from Livakovic. He's pushed it away. And then Perisic helps it clear. And then back with Romero there. And now Otamendi. But a good, decent ever there from the edge of the penalty areas for Argentina as they come close. I'm not quite sure who it was. I think it could have been Lionel Messi, or it might have even been Paredes from the edge of the penalty area. No free kick given there as man goes down for Argentina. The ball now runs through to the arms of Emi Martinez. I think it was Alexis McAllister had that shot in fact, and it was a decent effort to be saved by Livakovic. We'll get Paul's thoughts on that effort in a few moments' time as here's Rodrigo de Paul to spray the ball out wide to this near side of Molina. Good play from Argentina, but giving the ball away this time, as just as I say, was good play from them. Because of the commentator there, as Croatia will try and come forward. Brozovic with a decent ball into the path of Juranovic, who just manages to keep the ball in play over on that far side, but gives the ball away. And here comes Argentina now. Can they cause a few problems? They're working a shot here from Lionel Messi. If he can work with the space, he can't. Kovacic just turns his man brilliantly there. Mateo Kovacic through the halfway centre circle to Kramaric on that near side, and there's a free kick. Foul on Kramaric, who goes down holding his knee, and we're praying he's nothing like the injury to Amanda Broja of Chelsea, who got injured in a pre-season friendly, or mid-season friendly, should I say, against Aston Villa the other day, and he's going to be out for the season. It looks like with a torn ACL, as that was Fernandez who had that effort from the edge of the penalty area. Decent effort from Fernandez, Paul.
Yeah, looks like it was going wide anyway, but the goalkeeper Livakovic gets across just to be sure. But that was a wonderful move also by Kovacic, just turning away there and helping to create that break for Croatia.
Yes, free kick for the Croats. Just around about 30 yards out, I would say, probably right of centre. Bit more towards the couple of yards in from the right hand side of the penalty area and a couple of yards back from the touchline and 2 or 3 yards in from where the edge of the box is. So someone's over it. He leaves it for Luka Modric to deliver across in. He's headed away nearly there by Argentina, and they will try and come away with possession, but they can't on their own box. Or can they? They can now. As they come down this right hand side, and there's a Rodrigo de Paul who spots the man over on that far side. I think it's Alvarez over on that far side. It was, but Bonasosa went across there to defend well. But Argentina have got the ball. He's gone out for a throw into Argentina, but that was just unlucky as Luka Modric did well to get back to Eddie Kliber. Argentina on the front foot here. They can looking to try and create some dominance and insert some dominance in the play. As the ball is over on that far side, has knocked it down the line. Further down the line looking for Alexis McAllister, who can't go on end of it. And the ball was out for a goal kick. 28 minutes gone, Argentina 0, Croatia 0.
They're not getting forward enough, Argentina. They're not being positive enough. The two forwards, Messi perhaps not as much, but Alvarez is being marked out the game. I don't think this is really working for Argentina, and they're lacking some real penetration at the moment.
And I'm wondering, Paul, when you're just saying that, I'm wondering if they're missing Marcus Acuna, who would bring that to them this evening. You would think he would bring that to them and bring that to the game. Do you think he's a player that they are missing tonight, Argentina?
Yes, I do. I think he would definitely add to the attacking prowess, but I just think a 4-4-2 is just not an Argentinian style of play. It's not that I don't think it suits them, and I think in what I'm seeing in the first half an hour is it's not working for them.
Yes, it is. Brozovic trying to come forward for Argentina, and Emi Martinez prevents the corner, and he goes out for a throw to Croatia. Almost 30 minutes, almost half an hour gone. Remains Argentina 0, Croatia 0, with 29.5 minutes gone. Here is a throw in from Josip Juranovic, who launched into the box, but no, he takes his shot. Here's Brozovic on the right hand side of the penalty, far side, knocks the ball back, but Fernandez is there to help Argentina come forward. Up towards Lionel Messi was picked off there by Guardiola, who's crossing that right hand side of the back four, which turned into a back three for a moment, as here's Bonasosa on this near side of the left, knocking it down the line to Kramaric, back into Bonasosa, go all the way back to Livakovic, and Rodrigo de Paul putting under pressure the back line with the help of Lionel Messi, amongst others, in the Argentinian side. But Luka Modric skips away from one challenge and finds Kramaric on the edge of the penalty area. Has to go all the way back into towards midfield. And now here's Kovacic on this. I want to Perisic on this near side. Perisic inside the penalty. A shot cross comes in, and he loops up and over, and the referee is given a goal kick. But for me, Paul, I look to corner.
Yeah, looked a corner to me as well. Not sure why he's going for goal there. I think the cross might have been the better option, but it definitely, well, it might not have done actually. Let's have a look. Let's have another look. No, I don't think it did, Ross. I think he
Yeah,
just tried to chip.
yeah, it looked like it should have been a corner initially. There's a ball over the top, and Lionel Messi's in. Lionel Messi chips it through, goes down. No penalties it. Now it's a penalty. Penalty to Argentina, and it's a yellow card for I think it's Dejan Lovren, the goalkeeper. It's a penalty kick to Argentina. And is it Gvardiol loving all the goalkeeper was being booked? And it was Julian Alvarez who went through initially, who tried to chip him, not Lionel Messi as initially thought. And his Livakovic was being booked, who goes down, requires some treatment. I think he's a bit play acting from Livakovic, who was being booked. And I think that's a penalty for Argentina. And Mateo Kovacic also booked for over speaking and overstepping the mark there. Your initial thoughts on this, Paul?
I'd like to see that again. First of all, I'd like to see if he was onside. Looks like he was. Uh, and then, yeah, well, you see, when you're doing that, is entitled to come out and challenge for it. I don't know, Ross. I don't know. He knocks the ball past him, and I don't think Livakovic really attempts to block him in any way.
I've just
I,
seen a replay on my monitor here, Paul, and as he's chip the ball past him, he's going to get past him, and Livakovic, his leg, comes out to come out to try and block it, and his leg that he's tried to block it with, even though the ball's been chipped over, he's come out and caught him with that, and that's why he's gone down. He did go down theatrically, but Livakovic still did catch him, and I think the penalty is going to stand by the way, Paul, as Lionel
um,
Messi puts it on the spot to be taken here. Can Lionel Messi put Argentina 1-0 up here? Excuse me. Livakovic. Great well Livakovic, who denied Brazil for quite a while in the quarter final. Can he deny one of the biggest players in on the world stage in Lionel Messi? Couldn't deny Neymar. They were definitely denying Lionel Messi this time. No! Argentina have taken the lead from the penalty spot. It's Lionel Messi. And Argentina take the lead just before half time. We've around about 11 or so minutes to go till half time. And Argentina have the lead. Is Argentina 1, Croatia 0, Paul James?
well, that's how you take a penalty. There's no goalkeeper in the world serving that. Right up into the goalkeeper's top left-hand corner. With power, precision. That is a wonderful penalty.
Fantastic penalty from Lionel Messi. Like you said, Paul, no one was stopping that one. And it was into the roof of the net. And then Lionel Messi just fires it home with comfortable ease. And Argentina lead by a goal to nil. And Paul, with Argentina now leading just before half time, what do you think Croatia need to do to get back into this one?
Well, they just need to keep playing the way that they're playing. They are trying to press. They're trying to create chances. What they don't want to do now is let this setback get on top of them. They've got to keep going. They had to come back against Brazil. They can do the same again.
Yes, the can, Paul, as Lionel Messi becomes Argentina's top scorer of the World Cup. And in his career, the 35-year-old has now scored 96 goals in 171 appearances. And could his goal be the one that puts Argentina into a World Cup final against either France or Morocco? It's a free kick to Croatia. And they've taken it quickly as they look to try and get back into this game. Here's Mateo Kovacic, who will find a man in Gvardiol, who will come forward up towards halfway. Ball is it forward. Here is Kovacic again, Gvardiol again. And here comes Argentina to try and get the ball forward towards Lionel Messi, who's cut out and he breaks into the path of Livakovic there. And, excuse me, here comes Croatia in possession now. And here is Brozovic to try and get them back into it. We're into the final 9 or so minutes to go till half time. And Paul, your thoughts on the first game so far?
Well, I think a draw would be a right result, to be honest, at the moment. But Argentina got the penalty. Having seen the replay, Russ, I see where he's tripped over the goalkeeper's leg, but I don't think the goalkeeper stuck his leg out to try to trip him up. I'm just not convinced on that penalty situation. But it's one of them, isn't it? But I think for me, the way the game has gone, I think a draw would be the right result at the moment.
Here is Argentina to try and make it 2-0 just before half time and really pull cat amongst the pigeons. And Luke has just come back to us, Paul, and he says, I have just missed the penalty incident and penalty itself and replays. So Luke has missed the entire penalty incident happening in real time, the penalty itself, and the replays of the incident and replays of the penalty. So we'll have to watch back at half time, mate, and let us know what you think
Oh
on
dear,
via the
it's
Twitter
not the worst.
Commentary Live 1. If you want to do that, or you can put it in the comments here and we'll read it out just at the start of the second half. As here's Sosa trying to get Croatia back into the game. He's cleared away, and here comes Croatia again. Here's Kovacic now. Good play this from Croatia. They seem to be going into the game, Paul, until that penalty, but they're still having a bit more possession. Croatia seem to be the ones on top as they win a corner after crossing from Jovanovic was cut out there by the Brighton man Alexis McAllister. Dejan Lovren coming forward from the back as Croatia tried to get into the leader still, keep the lead intact till half time. As here is a corner for Croatia. It goes back to Brozovic. Croatia's second corner of the game so far, as here comes Argentina trying to come away with the ball. And they're coming away with it now, and there's a 2-on-2 here. 3-on-2 now for Argentina. Going one way, still going through. 2-0 Argentina! Oh my word, a superb solo goal from Julian Alvarez! And Argentina are 2-0 up just before half time. A superb solo run from Julian Alvarez from inside his own half. He ran through. It looked like Croatia did enough to get back and put the bodies on and put a block in, but they got back. Livakovic made an initial save. He come back to him and he just fired it into the back of the net. It's Argentina 2, Croatia 0, and we've got 6 minutes to go, Paul, until half time.
That was an incredible goal, and he has been quiet throughout the whole game. But this was an incredible solo effort. Absolutely incredible. Defensively, you begin to wonder about Croatia. But just look at this. He just cuts inside. There's three of them. And he just it's a wonderful goal. Don't get me wrong, but there's some pretty poor defending there. Sosa has the opportunity to clear it and fails. And he actually miscues it if you look on the replay at that angle. But it's a great solo goal, and Alvarez just has no problem putting it away. And at 2-0, it's a long way back for Croatia now.
It is, Paul. It is a long way back now for Croatia now. The two forwards, Messi been in the game quite a bit, but the second goal scorer, Julian Alvarez, being quiet in that first half, this first half, as Paul has said, but that goal has woke him up and woke us up a bit. Yes, it has been a good game despite only being 2-0, but he's woke us up as well because he's not been playing that good, Julian Alvarez, so far, but a good play and a good bit of finishing there from him.
It's as Luke says, it's shambolic defending.
It is, Luke. You're absolutely spot on, Luke, my friend. Horrendous defending there, shambolic. You're quite right. As here come Argentina again over on that far side is Enzo Fernandez. We know the Croatian defence. There's a treasure box for Alexis McAllister. What is it to Costa? Rodrigo, the ball takes a short deflection, goes behind for a corner. But Argentina appealing for a penalty for an handball. And let's have a look at this again, Paul. I'm looking at it again first. I'm not sure from this angle. Let's have a look from this angle.
Look.
He hits his arm there, but his arm's down by his side. So
Can't
for me,
give
I
handball.
won't give that one.
No, you can't give handball for that. But having said that, though, he does direct his body with his arm by his side to the ball. But I think it's tough to give that one, isn't it?
It is, Paul. Yes, it is tough to give it. The penalty decision has not been given. It looks like it's going to be a corner kick, just a corner kick to Argentina. Instead, so no penalty in the correct call this time, Paul. From my opinion, as well as yours, as we see this corner first, then we'll get to some more of the comments that people are sending in to us as this comes into us. And oh my word, almost 3-0 from the corner. And somehow Livakovic has kept that one out in there, Paul, and almost 3-0.
Well, that's game over if that goes in. You see the header there. Oh, it's a wonderful reaction save. Absolutely wonderful reaction save. That's incredible. And if that goes in, Ross, it's game over.
It is. Argentina have a corner this time from the right hand side. Almost 42.5 minutes gone then. It's Argentina 2, Croatia 0. And the header from the corner was from Alexis McAllister. Lionel Messi comes across to this right hand side to take the corner. And for once, we have seen someone put the ball actually inside the quadrant.
It's rare these days, isn't it?
It is Paul, yes, as here's Lionel Messi to take. Takes the left-footed in swinger towards the penalty, punched away by Livakovic. It is near, right underneath the crossbar. He is spawned a source and goes out for a throw. They come off Luka Modric, in fact. And Argentina are all over Croatia right now. And right about 5 or 10 minutes ago, Paul, up until the opening goal, we wouldn't be saying this. Argentina were having to hang on and try and keep it in 0-0. Now they've got the 2 goals. Croatia's got to try and hold on and keep it at 2-0 till half time.
Well, that was my worst fear for Croatia, Ross, was that after the first goal they might fall apart, and they appear to be doing that.
Yes, as Luke says, absolutely no, you cannot give a penalty for that. And then, and Rebecca's put in, good evening to you, Rebecca, she says, painful lack of defence there from Croatia for the, I think she's referred to the goals, and then the header, which was from Alexis McAllister, which Livakovic managed to push onto Junanovic's knees before letting it go behind for a goal, for a corner kick to Argentina. But Croatia living dangerously at the moment. And this one from Livakovic has got them downfield far ahead of Rodrigo de Paul, who's off for a throw into Croatia. And they've taken it quickly, headed forward. Lovely work here as they try and come forward. And he works it all the way back then to the goalkeeper Livakovic. And now Croatia will start again. Here's Lovren. Can Lovren work his way forward and work Argentina to put them under a bit of pressure? So here comes Sosa now for Croatia on this near side. Kovacic. There's a box for Kremovic. There's 1-2 with Perisic. Luka Modric shot is blocked. How wide it goes. Junanovich puts the ball back in and there's a shot into the side netting and behind for a goal kick. And Pulisic thought he'd gone behind for a corner initially for his shot come in, but he was just still on in play and he's fired into the side netting and I was straight into the face there of Nicolas Otamendi to block the shot there of the Croatian captain Luka Modric. But goals from Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez has got Argentina 2-0 up as we enter first half stoppage time. We've played 36 of the stoppage time already. We're not sure how many minutes has been given as a ball is cleared to this left hand side and it downfield. I can confirm now we've got 4 additional minutes, Paul, at the end of this first half. And do you think that's about right, the stoppage time?
No, not really. I'd like to know where he accounts for the 4 minutes. There's not been any really. There was one person who went down, but he wasn't down for very long. He got back up. He was all right. I can't. We haven't had any VAR checks. Okay, we've had a couple of goals. I don't account for 4 minutes, Russ. Maybe 2.
Yes, I'm not sure where we get the 4 minutes from, but I think what the officials have been told to do in this World Cup, Paul, and I was speaking to my dad about it, and he agrees. Well, I'll tell you after this attack's finished, Paul. As here comes Argentina down this right hand side, as this near side of the right, should I say, as they try and come forward. It's Lionel Messi, just with a bit of possession, as Rodrigo de Paul loses out to even Perisic and there's Lionel Messi to try and get the ball back, and just get the ball back for Argentina, and just gets away from Perisic, and he's blocked off Perisic by Paredes. And now Argentina come forward on that far side with Tagliafico, who's playing a left back today. Down the line it goes, and Julian Alvarez is on side this time. Julian Alvarez has been a bit quiet for the majority of the game. Then he scored, but now the flag goes up. And that's what we're going to say, Paul. I think what they've done in this World Cup, and that's him style that idea, when goals have gone in, I think they've been telling the referees to stop the clock and then start again on kick-off. So it could be, like I said, 2 minutes for the overall gameplay, but then probably it probably took a minute each for the celebrations to finish and for him to get back in position after scoring of the goals, which is equated to 4 minutes. And I think, and my dad likes the idea of stopping the watch when the ball is still back in the net for the celebrations to finish and then starting up again as the cross came in and he goes behind for a goal kick from Ivan Perisic. And that's the only explanation where we can see 4 minutes from.
Yeah, I think, well, Luke might have a good point. It's the penalty situation as well. But we're just looking again at the second goal here, and goodness me, Sosa had a chance to clear that. That was just some really bad defending.
Yes, and there we're just seeing the crowd there, Paul, as you just showed you on the replay on that big screen. The Brazilian legend, Ronaldinho, and he was enjoying that superb solo by goal by Julian Alvarez. And now the referee just went across to Emi Martinez. I'm not sure if he's getting him a booking for taking so long with possession there. As the ball is cleared forward by Emi Martinez. Julian Alvarez can't go on end of that, and he runs through to Livakovic from one goalkeeper to the other. And now Kovacic finds Brozovic. And now Kovacic has it again. And he loses the ball. And here comes Argentina. Can they get a third just before half time? Lionel Messi. Lovely footwork from Lionel Messi. Still going Lionel Messi. Still going Lionel Messi. Not being knocked off the ball yet, Lionel Messi. Still going. And he now wins a free kick right in front of the linesman on this near side. Nudging the back by Brozovic, who helps him up to the feet. And that's clever play from Lionel Messi. Or it might have been Gvardiol who fouled him. But that's just clever play, Paul, from Lionel Messi to win his side a free kick there. But it looks like it will not be taken as the half-time whistle has gone. And it's 2-0 to Argentina. Goals from Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez with the goals on 34 minutes and 39 minutes. And half-time, Paul, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, again, just going back to that incident, that started with another turnover of the ball in the middle of the park where Croatia have given it away again and leading up to that free kick. But since the first goal, Croatia have fallen apart. They've fallen apart defensively. They've fallen apart in possession of the ball. They look very disorganized. And I think what the coach is going to have to do, the coach, Zarko Dalic, is going to have to sit his players down at half time and calm them down. This game definitely isn't over. Argentina did lose a 2-goal lead against Netherlands, but it's really been a game of two halves, a first half of two halves, really, where I would say that for the first part of that, Croatia looked the better team, and then when Argentina scored, Croatia just fell apart.
Yes, absolutely, my friend. Absolutely, Paul. I've got to say there, my friend, I do 100% agree with that assessment. So you're very good at doing your assessments, Paul. I've not got no doubts about that from you. That's why we love having you on the channel, and that's why we're giving you tomorrow's game semi-final due to as Luke cannot be with us for reasons which are beyond our control and beyond Luke's control as well. We hope everything is doing okay with Luke as well, as me and Paul are now going to take a break while it's half time. But when we do return, we'll be back with second half action. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Commentary Hub, and we're back very shortly. Welcome back to coverage of the second half as Croatia make a double as Sosa and Paslic come off to be replaced by Orsic and Vlasic at the start of the second half. Looks like no changes will be made for Argentina. The second half will be about to get underway in a second. Right now, is Lionel Messi just having a scratch on his groin as the second half is about to get underway, which Messi takes, and we're off and underway. Looks like no changes for Argentina at the break, and just the two for Croatia. So we'll run you through the lineups in a second for the second half. As the subs have just been made, it's Martinez in goal for Argentina. A back four of Molina, Romero, Otamendi, and Tagliafico. Midfield four of De Paul, Fernandez, Paredes, and McAllister. And then up front, Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez, the two goal scorers. As for Croatia, who make two changes at half time, is Livakovic between the sticks. Is a back four of Jovanovic, Lovren, Gvardiol, and Orsic now a left back. Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic in midfield. Then up front is Vlasic, Kramaric, and Perisic. As there's a free kick on the edge of the 2 or 3 yards away from the edge of the penalty area for Croatia, fouled by Nicolas Otamendi on Vlasic. As the referee just gives a free kick there. 17 seconds, a minute and 17 seconds of the second half gone. Paul, your thoughts on that free kick? Was it a foul for you?
It goes down a little bit too easy for me. I'm not convinced on that one. He goes over him, but it doesn't look like. Again, I think a lot of this is they're not sticking their legs out. They're not trying to trip them up, but he's going over him nevertheless. So I'm not sure on that one. I'm not convinced that that's a free kick, Ross.
Yes, free kick then to Croatia to be given by Luka Modric, or to be taken by Luka Modric. There's a push there from the number 24 of Argentina, Fernandez, on Ivan Perisic. And there's whipped in towards a penalty area, and a goalkeeper, Martinez, comes and claims easily there. As that was a poor free kick from Luka Modric's standards, and Martinez came and claimed it brilliantly. Now goes up to Rodrigo de Polo, takes it down well over on the far side, and Argentina just with no changes yet, keeping all of possession and just keeping him moving forward, as they will look to cause quite a few problems as the ball is played into Livakovic. 47.5 minutes gone. It remains Argentina 2, Croatia 0, as we see the ball played forward and is chested down by the centre back there, which was Romero, into the path of Martinez, who will ball it underarm into the path of Otamendi, who gets it down the line well via his left back there, which was Tagliafico, into Alexis McAllister, the Brighton player. Good ball into Lionel Messi, who goes down, no free kick given. Messi still biting for the ball. McAllister doing well, and McAllister edges over the box. Alexis McAllister goes down, edge of the box, no free kick given. Argentina just keeping on the possession. Paredes shoots into the arms of the goalkeeper. And Kovacic with an easy save there. And McAllister holding his head. And the referee just said play on, even though he's still down, holding his head on the edge of the box there. As we just see the incident again. And he gets knocked in the back of the head there by the number 20, Gvardiol.
Yeah, the referee should stop that, Ross. You may also Ross, you might also want to update your ticker at the bottom of the screen there.
Thank you very much for that, Paul. I always forget to do something at the start of the second half.
Yeah, no, Luke pointed it out in the chat, so I just figured I'd pass it on to you. But
Thank
yeah, the referee's
you,
got to
Luke.
stop playing that situation.
Yes, no problem. And he did stop play, but the player's now back under, and there's a Vlasic who's gone down this time under the challenge of Tagliafico, who went in to the back of him there. Croatia will have to come forward and get a goal at the start of the second half and try and get back into this game. Almost 4.5 minutes gone, or just over that now, is a free kick from which sees Brozovic be replaced by the number 16 Bruno Petkovic. And that must be an injury there. And I'm surprised, Paul, that if it was an injury, they didn't do it at half time when they took off the other two players that took off at half time in Pulisic and Sosa. I'm surprised they didn't do all three changes at once then, waste one of their subs during the game.
Well, I mean, it's perhaps something he's just picked up at the beginning of the second half, but Petkovic is a good substitution. Got the equaliser, didn't he, against Brazil?
It is now Argentina will try and come forward and win the ball back, which they have, and they send it up towards halfway where Lionel Messi will be chasing it. But there's Lovren to defend well, and they will come forward. Can they cause a few problems? They will look to do so, as they will try and get the ball forward. Can Croatia get back into this game? I wonder. It's going to be a long night if they don't get back into this game, Paul. You'd have to think. And do you think they could get the win, Croatia, if they get back into this, or do you think it could be still be a long night for them? We'll get back to that point in a moment, Paul. As Argentina are breaking forward, well, Croatia have just won it back, so Croatia are on the attack now, Paul. So we'll get your thoughts on that question in a moment as we watch this game unfold. And as Modric just sprays the ball out from right to left as Scrimmage says the ball back well there. That's a good bit of play from Argentina and Croatia just to keep the ball and try and cause a few problems as McAllister just plays it out to the far side. But Croatia will have the ball again. They're coming forward now. Lovely ball forward looking for the run of Orsic. And now Croatia have to get back to defend. And they've got back in numbers and defending really, really well. It remains Argentina 2, Croatia 0. Juranovic feeds Kovacic. Good play this. Kovacic does well, runs through the heart of the Argentinian defence, gets 1-2 with Kremic on the edge of the penalty area. It's blocked. Out of Vlasic on this near side, the substitute. Vlasic delivers a crossing towards the penalty area, and there is a comfortable save for Emi Martinez. And Paul, what do you make to the sort of second half? And do you think if Croatia get a goal back, do you think they could go on and win it?
Well, obviously, the next goal is important. I think if Argentina get the next goal, the game is over. I think if they can get it back to 2-1, you never know. They started quite confidently in the second half, but they're placing one or two too many passes right now. Get the shots on goal. Test Martinez.
Yeah, they've not really done that much enough, Paul, have they? Really, they've not really done that much at all. And you were saying in the first half as well, Paul, as Argentina just win the ball back in the middle of the field, but the referee is given a free kick foul on Mateo Kovacic. You were saying the first half was a tale of two halves, if you like. The first half of the first half was all Croatia. The second half, after the penalty and for the remainder of the game, was all Argentina. And with the first half of the first half, when it was all Croatia, Croatia had a lot of possession, but didn't really do anything with it. And not really tested Emi Martinez enough in this game. Would you agree with that assessment?
Absolutely, they've got possession even at the start of this second half. But what they're doing is one too many trap passes. They're trying to walk their way through the Argentinian defense. Just get the shots on goal. Work the goalkeeper.
I think some of these Croatian players, Paul, and no disrespect to any Arsenal fans out there, have looked at Arsenal old. When I say no offence to any Arsenal fans out there, Mike Onaman being one of them, look at Arsenal old under Arsene Wenger, and they like to they used to play one-touch passes, try and wear through the defence, and try and wear the ball into the net, by passing into the net. Whereas Argentina, they're the opposite. They will try and get shots off. They will try and create opportunities, try and get shots off, try and get the goals. And Croatia don't seem to be doing that. Yes, they've done it in previous matches where they've managed to get shots off early and get the goals. But in this game, for some reason, they've not even been able to get. I don't think Emi Martinez has had a shot to save, and if he has, they've been very rare.
Yeah, they're not getting enough shots away, Croatia, and they've got to start working the goalkeeper.
Yes, as they will try and do this now as they come down the right hand side with a poor pass from Juranovic to Vlasic, and that's cut out there, and he was fouling Nicholas Otamendi there was the Croatian substitute as we watch it still remains Argentina 2, Croatia 0. If you're just joining us here on the commentary of your name of alternative commentary, you're listening to Russ Vernon and Paul James for this game. 10 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Argentina 2, Croatia 0, as they will just keep hold of possession. Will Croatia just to knock the ball around well as they will look to try and come forward. Here's there John Lovren into Luka Modric, the captain. Could this be the last appearance of the World Cup? A chance to win the World Cup for Luka Modric? As it stands, it could be. And it could be if this goes in here now as the ball over the top is picked out Lionel Messi, picked out Julian Alves. Rolls the ball across. It was a penalty for Fernandez who can't get a striking on goal. Lionel Messi gets the ball back. There's McAllister, is it? There's Lionel Messi. Messi does well there. McAllister, good bit of play. Now Tagliafico. Good ball into Fernandez. Alexis McAllister. Paredes. Good ball out wide to Rodrigo de Paul, who just looks to keep hold of possession. Neat passing from Argentina. And they find Molina, who's normally a left back by trade. Whips the ball in with his right foot. And that's why it was a weak crossing with his right foot. This time and he's now cleared away. It's Argentina will have to get back and do defending if they want to. But they're doing defending from the front. But Croatia have played out of beyond the Argentinian press. But Argentina just win the ball back quickly and with ease and just keep the ball inside the Croatian half, and they've done really well to keep hold of possession and keep the ball ticking over as they have it on this near side with Tagliafico. Good ball into Otamendi. Now it goes all the way to Cristian Romero. Does well to pick out a teammate there. Now is Lionel Messi who comes deep. Messi running towards goal. Lionel Messi edge of the box. There's a ball off to Fernandez. Back into Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi shoots. Wonderful save from Livakovic. Absolute fantastic save. And then Julian Alvarez fouls his man, but that's a wonderful save from Livakovic there, Paul.
Yeah, wonderful save, but let's look at that entire passage of play, Ross. 3 opportunities Croatia had to get the ball away, and they keep giving the ball away to Argentina. They keep turning the ball over on the edge of their penalty area, and that led to that opportunity. But another good save by Livakovic, but I feel very sorry for him today.
Yes, and there's another shot block there as Croatia tried to have a shot from the edge of the penalty area. He's Luka Modric now. Out wide it goes to Nikola Vlasic. Vlasic will look to get the ball in and does. Kramic is in there. Kramic brings the ball down. Can't get a striking on goal. Comes out here to the edge of the penalty area and Kovacic. Out wide it goes to Ivan Perisic. In towards the penalty area, headed away. And here comes Croatia again. But no foul there, I don't think. And the referee, and we're just doing this effort again from above the goal, and fantastic save as Lionel Messi got in. You'd probably put your house on Messi scoring then. If you did, you'd be out on the streets because you would have lost your house. Wonderful save from Livakovic to keep Argentina out and keep Croatia in this at 2-0.
Yeah, it's a good piece of goalkeeping, but again, sloppy defending. It's like chaos at the back in that Croatian defence right now. They keep giving the ball away. You cannot afford to do that against a world-class team like Argentina. You're going to get punished.
Yes, and Argentina having to defend, and I'll come back to Rebecca's point in a minute because I think that's a good point that she's made, Paul, and we'll get your thoughts on that in a moment. Is here comes Argentina with the ball forward. It's given away, so we'll come to Rebecca's point now. And Rebecca has said, Paul, that she believes Croatia are panicking. in this game so far. Would you agree with that? Do you reckon Croatia are beginning to panic when they get ball in front to get the ball in front to goal and then the build-up play as well?
I think they're definitely panicking at the back. They're going forward. They look a little bit better going forward, but still not getting enough shots away. But at the back, they are panicking. They look disorganised and they look confused.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Paul, I agree with this as well, and I'm not sure if Rebecca does or Luke, who's in the chat as well, listening along to this, whatever channel they're listening on, whether it's Contrib 2, JB Sports, Storm FM, Turton Talks Football. I'm not sure if they agree with this. The back line of Croatia today, which consists of Jovanovic, Gvardiol, Lovren, and now probably Ivan Perisic, who's probably slotted in the left back spot since the substitutions, look like, and it was like this when Sosa was on the pitch, not just now, it looked like all of those look like they've not played a single minute together the, in this World Cup. It looks like they've all been on the bench, not trained together, and just turned up like last night and said, "Oh, you're playing in this game in the semi-finals against Argentina." It looks like they've not played together as Croatia just win a free kick foul by Paredes on Luka Modric there. Would you agree with that, Paul?
Yeah, I would agree with that. But the interesting thing is, it's the same back four that took on Brazil and only conceded one goal against that uh, nightmare front line. But today it looks like that they look like imposters.
Yes, as here comes Lisandro Martinez. The Manchester United defender comes on. And he's replacing Paredes. And Paredes, Paul, what do you make to his performance today? And was 50th cap as well. Do you think he's had a good game today in the middle of the park? He's had one shot on target. Do you think he's had a good game there? And Argentina right to fetch on an extra defender?
I think it's smart for Argentina to bring on a defender at this point. They're 2-0 up. There's less than half an hour to go. But I mean, he's been okay as Paredes. He's been okay. He's not set the world on fire, but he's worked hard in midfield.
Yes, in Argentina just managed to get a ball away. So they were bouncing around inside the penalty area as Paul was talking there. It's on the edge of the halfway line with Lionel Messi, who just lost out in possession. And now Croatia will try and come forward. And Argentina have just won the ball back. And it's Alexis McAllister just inside the centre circle on halfway. Gets the ball back. Now in Argentina will try and build from the back and get the ball forward. What can they do here with possession? Argentina have gone to back five a bit too early there for me, for my liking. I'd have liked to probably have see good more attack and get another goal first before going to the defence. But they could try and get another goal. Now as here comes Tagliafico. Alvarez. Good crossfield pass from Julian Alvarez to Molina. Heads it down the line looking for Lionel Messi, who's just showed the ball just off of the pitch. And behind for goal kickers. We just see that after again, Paul, when he was bounced around inside the penalty and Tagliafico just managed to clear. And that was a wonderful chance for Croatia to try and score there.
Yeah, Martinez seemed to lose track of the ball. But again, they didn't press enough, did they? The ball was loose in the penalty area. They just weren't pressing enough. It was easy for Argentina to deal with.
Yes, as here comes Argentina now in possession. They've won themselves a free kick foul on Alexis McAllister there, and was being pulled around. Alexis McAllister was being pulled around there, the Brighton man. And Argentina, it looks like Argentina have now gone to a 4-3-3, and I think that's what one of the coach staff has just told Alexis McAllister, and I think Messi has gone out to the right hand side of the three-man midfield, or three-man up front, should I say, with Alvarez through the middle, and I think Alexis McAllister's dropped into a midfield three now, and Tagliafico's been pushed a bit further forward. Maybe I might have gone to a 3-4-3 now. Argentina just to solidify their dominance in defence and try and keep the clean sheet intact, as they will. And it looks as though they have gone to a back three in the end, then he looks as though Fernandez and is playing alongside Rodrigo de Paul in the defensive midfield areas there as Chris tried to come forward, but they've won a free kick there, just deep inside their own half. And it looks like I mentioned, Paul, looks like they've changed the formation now, Argentina, into a 4-3-3, which sees Messi staying up front now on his own rather than Julian Alvarez. Do you think that's a good idea at this stage, or do you think that's a dangerous idea? You can answer that second as if comes Perisic over on that far side. Croatia edge of the penalty area. Andre Croatia trying to work a shooting opportunity. Is cleared away. What can they do here with the ball? Is out wide, and there comes the ball cleared away. And now Croatia can have to get back as here comes Julian Alvarez. What can Julian Alvarez do? Julian Alvarez on the edge of the box. Whips it in towards the back post. Is the ball in the far post. Who can Molina in the far post? Ball comes in towards Lionel Messi. It's cleared away towards Julian Alvarez on the edge of the box. Modric fetches the ball away for Croatia. Now Croatia will try and come away, but Julian Alvarez just wins the ball back. But the referee is giving a free kick for a foul by Julian Alvarez on Luka Modric, and the Argentinian coaching team are not happy with that. And neither is Julian Alvarez there, Paul. What do you make to it?
Well, they're never happy. I mean, he uses his arm to shove him over. It's a foul. This is the thing with Argentina. I saw it in the last game. They're never happy. When they commit a foul, they're like, no, that shouldn't be a foul. Well, it is a foul. And why are they complaining? I don't understand. He shoved him over with his arm.
Yes, it is Modric now for Croatia. Just midway inside the Argentinian half. He plays it to Kovacic, who will go out to the far side of the left. And Ivan Perisic, who will look to get the ball. And he's up against Rodrigo de Paul, who has to get back. And who's playing right wing back now, Rodrigo de Paul. And he just does well, the right wing back there, to win inside a free kick for a foul by Orsic. And to be honest there, Paul, if we just look at this again, there's a slight touch there, but from the first angle I saw it at, Paul, I didn't see that touch there from Orsic, and I thought he chucked himself to the ground there, but the referee got that one spot on, didn't he?
Yeah, it looks like he just caught him on the back of the ankle. And no complaints from Orsic. He gets on with the game. Just to answer your earlier question, I think Argentina's to go to a 4-3-3 is a smart move because they're 2-0 up now. They already know that every time they come forward, they look threatening. They don't need to sit back. They can play a nice balanced play now for the remainder of the game.
Yes, and Croatia is the ones who have to come out and try and assert their dominance and try and get back into this game, but we've not really seen much of that, really, have we, in the second half so far, Paul, as we come up towards 6.5 minutes gone, as a free kick has been given to Croatia. Foul in there's the yellow card there for the Tottenham defender, Christian Romero. Well, Croatia, Paul, have not really come out and asserted their dominance on this game, as so to speak, and Emi Martinez still is having a relatively quiet evening.
Well, he's not had a shot on goal to face the entire game. They started quite confidently in the second half, but as I said, we're not getting enough shots away. But I get the feeling they're running out of ideas, Ross. I hope I'm wrong.
Yes, as here comes Argentina over on that far side. They win a throw-in. Over on that far side, the ball came off Ivan Perisic. And Luke says they're imposters, and he's using a game called Among Us reference, going back to the Croatian defence. And he says as well, Paul, in the last few minutes as well, a couple of minutes ago, you tell them, Paul, as here comes Argentina racing away down the far side. Lionel Messi, always able to play well, turns away from his man. He's had a penalty now. Lionel Messi puts the ball back. It's 3-0! And it's Julian Alvarez with his second goal of the game. And it's Lionel Messi who set him up this time. And it's Argentina 3, Croatia 0. Julian Alvarez has got the goal on with 21 minutes to go, 69 minutes gone. It's Argentina 3, Croatia 0. And that's surely now, Paul, puts Argentina's place in the World Cup final.
Yeah, this is wonderful play by Messi again. He gets into the penalty area, and it's very difficult. Once he's on the ball, he's not a particularly big guy, but he manages to keep. He manages to muscle his way through here, creates a bit of space for himself, pulls it back. Again, the defending is appalling. Three surrounding Alvarez, and it's Messi to Alvarez, and it's 3-0, and that's the game.
Yes, game, set, and match there now for Argentina, according to Paul James. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, how bad is Croatia's defending been tonight? And Luke's earlier point about them being imposters, and you mentioned that as well, Paul. Their back line, you said earlier, Paul, the back line that they've had, they played together against the Brazil side and knocked them out and only conceded once against them. Tonight they've played this Argentinian side. We've got 20 minutes left and they've conceded 3 goals. First two came, yes, albeit the first one came from a penalty, but the other two was a breakaway from Alvarez, which no one challenged him. And as you mentioned, Sosa had a chance to clear. And then that one there was just absolutely poor defending. Messi managed to, had a player on him out of the penalty area, managed to work his way into the box. And then he managed to cut the ball back to Alvarez, who had 3 players around him. 3 players around him, and still managed to find a way past Livakovic in goal. He's not going to be Dominic, the grey wall of Livakovic tonight, is it, Paul? After his performance there, as Argentina just conceded a free kick, foul there, and a booking to, I think he's Nicola Otamendi. It was Nicola Otamendi there who's got that foul, but Paul, he's not the grey wall of Livakovic tonight.
Well, every wall needs a structure. You know, every wall needs foundation, and he hasn't had any foundation today because his defense has just been absent for the entire game. And I feel sorry for him because what chance did he have on any of those goals?
He didn't have a chance on the first one, obviously, penalty. There's a bit of a chance he could go the right way and save it. Just a bit odd look that he didn't go that way. Kramaric comes off to be replaced by Marco Livager. Livager there who comes on. And then the second goal, he was what he had his defence tried to, he had defenders trying to help him clear it. They failed to clear it, and then he come to it, and by the time he were on top of him, the ball had already gone past him. And then that third goal there, Alvarez had 3 players around him. You would expect one of his defenders to put blocking. They didn't. As a shot comes in from Perisic, straight into the throat and down the throat of Emi Martinez, who tonight, Paul, has had, I think that's his very first save of the game he's had to make.
Yeah, that's it exactly. I mean, just going back to what you were saying, Ross. No goalkeeper in the world is saving that penalty. He did go the right way. It was just too powerful and way beyond his reach. Second goal is faced on a one-on-one situation because nobody bothered to clear the ball, and there was probably more than one opportunity to do that. And the third one, Alvarez, who's a world-class finisher with space, with 3 of these defenders around him, and he's just going to score from there. 9 times out of 10, it's shocking by the Croatian defending tonight. It's absolutely shocking. It's some of the worst I've seen by any team in this World Cup, actually.
Yes, and to say that, Paul, and you've come to the semi-final stage, the way they've defended tonight, they've not defended like that in the entire tournament so far. So I'm surprised that this side has come out like this tonight, thinking they come out tonight thinking, oh, we beat Brazil. This one is going to be a walkover as well, and that's the actual you don't really want to have as Rodrigo de Paul is substituted, and he's replaced by the number 14 Palacios. And then there's another substitution happening here as well. We see Julian Alvarez go off, who's not happy with that he's been taken off there. And there's number 21, Paulo Dybala, who I think is his first involvement in the World Cup this tournament. And he's not really been used much in the other games, Paulo Dybala. And it looks like he's going to be getting a rare one out today. And with the substitution players that have gone off, Paul, Julian Alvarez being one of them, and Rodrigo de Paul being the other. What have you made to their performances tonight, and which one of those two really stood out for you in taking away Alvarez's 2 goals? Because obviously you probably would have said him with the 2 goals. But taking away his 2 goals, which out of de Paul and Alvarez stood out for you tonight, Paul?
Well, I think De Paul's done very well in midfield. Um, it would be De Paul has created a lot for the midfield. I think the outstanding player in the midfield for me has been McAllister for Argentina. But De Paul has also created some opportunities from the midfield. Alvarez, well, he's been quiet. He's got 2 goals. I know that sounds ridiculous to say someone's been quiet when they've got 2 goals, but he really has been quite quiet. He's popped up for these 2 goals and been right where he's supposed to be. I don't think he's played badly. I just think he's been quiet.
Yes, and I must say I agree with what Luke Turton has said this evening. He says Croatia have self-imploded tonight, and, I, and to be honest, you can't really argue with that statement there
No,
from
it's
Luke, can you?
absolutely correct. It's absolutely correct. They have self-imploded since the first goal. They have totally self-imploded, and that was my biggest concern. That when the first goal went in, that Croatia might fall apart, and that appears to have been what's happened.
Yes, and when they conceded the first goal in the final, they fell apart in that one as well, Paul. 4 years ago, they've conceded the first goal in the semi-final and they've fallen apart here now. So but last World Cup they got to the final and fell apart there. They were hoping they'd go one step closer, and it looks like they got. Well, instead they've gone one step backwards and imploded in the semi-final stage this time around. Do you think maybe 4 years time they could potentially go that one step further, say if they lose like Sir Luka Modric and probably some of the others in the side like Brozovic and Kovacic maybe?
Well, they're an aging team. They're probably going to lose Brozovic, Modric, Perisic may well be gone, and so they're going to lose players. Lovren possibly as well.
Yes, and when we go through some of the names in the team, it sounds like whenever they were called and when you say the names, it sounds like you've got an itch with you. There's like the Brozovic, Modric, Kramaric, Kovacic, Perisic, Livakovic, just to name a few itches in this Croatian side tonight as a flicked header forward. And tonight, it should be a good game, and I wonder. And to use a U2 reference from the other day, I know Morocco play tomorrow, and he'll be looking to keep another clean sheet tomorrow. Will Bono in goal for Morocco when they take on France? We'll touch upon that briefly just before we finish tonight, Paul. It was a fantastic. This has not been a beautiful day for Croatia so far, has it?
No, but they've only got themselves to blame. I'm sorry. I find it hard to give them sympathy because they really did just from the first goal, they just completely fell to pieces.
They did, Paul, and they've not really responded since the first goal. Normally, you see when your team goes behind, you see an improvement. You see some urgency trying to get back into the game. And to be honest with you, people who are listening, to be honest with our listeners, myself and Paul have not seen a performance where you look at it and think, right, we're going to get back into this, or you look at it and think, right, Croatia's going to get back into this, or Croatian fans will be looking and thinking, right, can we get back into this? They've not done that, and I've been thinking, right, where do we need to improve for 4 years' time? That's what they've been thinking. And do you think Zlato Dalic could resign tonight? Should they go out of this, which it looks like they probably will be doing? Do you think that could be the case, Paul?
Well, I hope not. I mean, I don't think anybody would have expected Croatia to get to the semi-finals. They were an aging squad. They've knocked out the world champ. Not the world champ. Sorry, they've knocked out Brazil. I hope they don't go down this road of sacking the manager and managers resign. This culture has got to stop. He's taken them to the semi-finals. I can't remember if he was the man in charge in the World Cup in Russia. I think he was. And so if that's the case, he's taken them to a final as well. Like, come on, I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely, mate. I've got to agree with you there. And just to say, 'cause you weren't sure whether he he was in charge in Russia in
Oh, he
2018.
was.
He's been in charge since 2017. Zla- Zlatko Dalic has been in charge since 2017. Paul, the Lionel Scaloni, the Argentinian manager, has been in charge since 2018. So been he's just been in the job a year longer than the Argentinian boss. But the Argentinian boss has found some way of tactically over getting one over on his opposite number tactically in this game because since Argentina have scored in this game, should I say, Paul, I almost said Australia there. Since Argentina have scored in this game, they've not really looked like they're going to do much. As Luka Modric, the captain for Croatia, is being substituted. He looks like he looked like he was crying, might be crying there a little bit. He's been substituted for Livaro Major there. And are you surprised that Luka Modric has been took off? Because I know they're losing 3-0 and he's got like 9 minutes to go, Paul. But he's one of their players who can create things for me if they are to get anything back into this game and potentially one of their penalty takers should he go into extra time and penalties. Do you think that could be? Do you think that's a strange move?
No, not really. I think at this point of the match, they're not in the game of Croatia right now. They're not a constant threat. They're not getting many shots on goal. They've only had one throughout the entire game. Maybe now is the time to maybe bring on someone just a little bit younger and just see how they get on. I don't have any problem with that substitution. I think it's a reasonable substitution to make at this time.
Yes, and when I asked you about the question where you think Croatia will do in the next 4 years, Paul, Lucas said he reckons in 4 years' time Croatia will go out in the quarter-finals, one round before the round previous to this one. Luke reckons. Paul, what do you make to that comment there as Lovren just tries to get the ball clearly knocks it back to his goalkeeper? I get your thoughts in a minute as the goalkeeper just clears it up into the air from by Livakovic. He's chested down by Argentina's McAllister just tries to come forward as there's a foul and a free kick foul on Palacios. There, what do you make to Luke's coming to that? Because Croatia will go out in the quarterfinals next this time in 4 years' time as well. Quickly, and the shot just wide in the end from Alexis McAllister, almost made it 4.
Should have been four. Clear shot on goal. Once again, the Croatian defence nowhere near. You look at this. Uh, there's two of them there that could have had a shot. That is, he had more time than he realised probably there. But just to go back to what you were saying, I think I'm not sure if I can make a prediction on Croatia's where they're going to be in 4 years. I suppose it depends on how some of their younger talent develops. So it's a bit difficult for me to really put a finger on where I think they're going to be. Um, but I think they'll probably need a rebuild for the next World Cup.
Yes, and here comes Argentina, who can try and come forward and get a fourth goal of the game, which would really seal Argentina's place in the final of the World Cup 2022 in Qatar, which and there's running towards a penalty area, cleared away, and now Argentina will get back in numbers to defend as Perisic comes forward. Here's Croatia coming forward over on that far side with number 18 there, Orsic. Lovely ball into the midfield area in there. But now they're on the back foot again. As Lionel Messi can't keep hold of the ball as he was in offside position and he let the ball run on. And just having a word with his man there as here comes their substitute Major there who comes over Major who will look to try and come forward. Jovanovic is there. It looks like Croatia will be in the third place playoff as it stands, which will take on the losers of France and Morocco, which takes place tomorrow, which you can hear with Mike Orderman, and also you'll get a double dose of Paul James this midweek. He'll be with us again on Wednesday evening, which is tomorrow, to talk us through, and I might guide you through tomorrow's semi-finals. This major with the corner. We'll look to take it in and look to find Dejon Lovren, who's inside the penalty area, and a few other dark blue shirts in. There's a ball's flicked on all the way across to the back post, and Lovren gambling at the back post. Can't turn it on, for somehow Croatia almost pull one back, but can't turn it on there. Wonderful flick on from Perisic.
Yeah, lovely flick on. It's getting there towards the back post. Lovren's just not getting there quick enough. That's the problem. And if you got any kind of a touch on that, it's probably 3-1.
Yes, absolutely. And Paul, if you can get your thinking cap on, if you've not done it already, for your player of the match is going to be a double substitution here for Argentina. Number 2, 1/4 is one of the players who are about to come on, I believe. I think I've just seen him with his number 2 shirt on. And it's Alexis McAllister, one of the players coming off. And also Molina, to be replaced by number 15, Angel Carrera. And former Tottenham defender Juan Foyth, who comes on. So interesting substitutions there. And we'll go to in a few moments. We'll get Paul's confirmation of his player of the match on the screen for us, and we'll get people up to let people know, and we'll get Paul's thoughts on why he's giving his player of the match, as well as the Paul just gives an high five to Molina. There's Paulo Dybala, who just come across to get a quick drink while the substitutions were taking place. As I will just have a quick drink of my water right now as well, before the goal kick is taken by Emi Martinez, who kicks forward, right-footed, should I say, not kick-footed, right forward. As the ball comes off of a Croatian head there, Juranovic now for a throw into Argentina. We'll get the confirmation of the player of the match in stoppage time, so you've got 3 minutes to come to a decision, Paul, unless you've already got that player in mind, and then you can send him through and I'll get ready to.
I've sent it through to you, Ross.
No problem, Paul. We'll get that sorted and we'll announce it just as we're going to stoppage time or when there's a break in play next. So we've seen that one, and it's an interesting choice for player of the match. I would have to say, Paul, you're interesting choice there, but we'll keep that between us for now, so we know so people will know who it's going to be until we announce it. Let us know your thoughts for player of the match, guys, if you want to get involved. Just put the player or person's name in the chat, and we'll let you know. Because if you're not sure of who the player's name is, just put the side he's playing for and their squad number if you know that from what you've seen on the TV when close up. Or put their initials in, and if you're not sure how to spell their name, and then I'll be able to tell you who it is from the screen, from the team sheet that I've got in front of me. And it remains Argentina 3, Croatia 0. If you're just tuning into us right now, as here comes Kovacic, shot from edge of the penalty from Maya, and straight down the throat with comfortable ease on Emi Martinez, and that's a wonderful save, and that's the second effort on goal that Croatia have had in the entire game.
Yeah. Again, it was not the greatest effort. Comfortable save for Martinez, who's not really been hugely worked in the entire game. Both shots on goal were not sort of difficult for the goalkeeper. They were comfortable saves in the end.
Yes, it's wonderful teardown on the chest of Paulo Dybala as Argentina just keep all of possession here at the Lusail Stadium. just north of Dar, as here comes number 25, Lisandro Martinez, who will take a touch and just play the ball forward. And he goes down, Lisandro Martinez. Advantage given as Argentina come away with the ball. And there is a foul there on the number 15, Angel Carrera, who has done well to win his side a free kick. Foul in there after a good ball through from Lisandro Martinez to pick out Angel Carrera. The two substitutes combine well via Nicola Tagliafico. As here comes Lionel Messi to try and get the ball forward. Messi. Or plays 1-2 with Maya, but then loses out to Kovacic, and now Croatia will try and break and try and get a consolation goal, can they? No, he runs out of play. And while the ball's out of play, we wait for a throw into Argentina. Paul, if you could tell us, my friend, who is your player of the match and why?
Alexis McAllister is a player of the match today. It would have been easier to giving it to someone like Messi, who scored and created one. But I want to say that McAllister's just worked so hard in midfield. He's done a lot of the work behind the scenes, a lot of the quiet work, if you will, winning the ball in midfield and starting to create chances and create breakouts for Argentina. So for me, I'm giving him the player of the match today.
Yes, good choice. I was surprised by that. I thought you might have gone like someone like Lionel Messi. Paul, have you after you said his goal and 2 assists in the game, but there is Emi Martinez who comes to claim as we've had one of the 5 additional minutes which have been added on here at the end of this game as the Argentinian fans just bounce up and down inside the stadium and the players just tap on the top of the bench as they see themselves on the screen inside the stadium. There's the coaching staff just laughing to themselves as Lionel Messi on the video player just watching on. This could be Lionel Messi's last chance to win a World Cup. He probably will retire to the end of this competition. This will be my final game of the World Cup on commentary duty. Hopefully, you've enjoyed my coverage this winter of this World Cup. And as a commentator, that is my last commentary of the World Cup. I may appear in the final as one of the pundits for the final between Argentina and either France or Morocco, which their semi-final will take place tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. This time tomorrow evening, we should know who's got Argentina in the final and who's got Croatia in the third place playoff. Unless it's a draw, then we'll have an extra 30 minutes to decide that one. Tomorrow, don't forget, you can join Nicholas. Tomorrow, you can join Mike Ornament for commentary alongside Paul James, who's been with me tonight for this game. Paul has fantastic working alongside Paul yet again for the channel. We've always done a good commentary with each other as we watch the game unfold. As here comes Vlasic inside the penalty. Vlasic, we one with another, and then the shot is straight into the Croatian fans behind the goal, and that's another poor effort as Argentina march on into the final. Tomorrow you can join Nicholas Jones, Mike Ardeman, and Paul James for coverage of France against Morocco, which should be one hell of a game. That one, Paul, is we're going to preview that in around about 90 seconds now, Paul. But that one tomorrow should be a good one. And whoever gets through, we'll have a tough test against this Argentina side, won't they?
Yeah, just to say, Ross, it's been a pleasure working with you during this World Cup. I would just say as well, though, that this Argentina side, they've not been actually at their best today. They've not really had to be at their best today. But I will tell you, if it ends up being a France versus Argentina final, what a final that will be.
Absolutely, and JB will have a cracker if that's the final, and Paul, I'll tell people or I wanted to win at the end of the game. And do you think you could tell which side I wanted to win during the commentary, Paul, or have it been a fairly neutral? I just think the commentary's been in this game and the tournament. You can answer that in a minute as here comes 1/4 who will try and get the ball into the penalty area. Really no, we'll hold it in the corner, and he does well to keep hold of possession. Croatia win the ball back, and there's 30 seconds to go, and we'll bring this ball forward. Can Croatia get a goal back here now? They will look to try and get a consolation goal here. Now, here is Maya. How wide it goes to the path of Pekovic. Pekovic. Edge of the penalty area, it's Orsic. Orsic will line up the shot. Will he know? He goes back to Judge on the run! Shot over. And into the crowd. And Paul, shot there from Levin, goes over. And I believe it has. The final whistle has gone. Argentina are through to the World Cup final. They've beaten Croatia 3-0 in the semi-final. A goal for Lionel Messi and 2 for Julian Alvarez. It was the first half. The first half was a half of 2 halves. First part of it was all Croatia. Since the penalty, it was all Argentina. The second half, Croatia had their chances, but failed to trouble the goalkeeper Martinez. Neither did in the entire game. When Argentina went forward, they looked like scoring at every opportunity. It finished Argentina 3, Croatia 0. And Paul, do you think, as you think the commentary was, do you think it was fair? And what's your overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it was fair, Russ. There was no bias. In terms of the game itself, Croatia started well, and they looked fairly compact and fairly organised at the beginning. When the first goal went in, it all fell apart for them, and they started panicking, and they just seemed to lose their shape. And defensively, they was extremely poor from that point in. From that point in, Argentina didn't need to be at their best. It was a very straightforward game from them from that point onwards. They'll get a much rougher ride in the final, whoever they are playing, because I don't suspect that if Morocco do pull off a shock and beat France, I suspect that Morocco would give them a harder game than that. It was very easy for them in the end. It's a shame for Luka Modric, who's obviously been an outstanding player in his professional career, a wonderful model of a footballer. But it's not to be for him, unfortunately.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll preview tomorrow's game in just a moment or so. And now the game's finished. The team I was wanting to win was the team that has won, because I've got a sweepstake going with some family and some friends, and I got Argentina, and I went, and now in the final, I've got, I think he's a guaranteed, I think he's £10, because if I come second, I get £10. I think if I win, I think it's been more than that, but I won't say how much more than that on air anyway. So, but that was, so I'm guaranteed at least £10 now. I'm in the final with Argentina in the sweepstakes. So hopefully Argentina can go and lift the trophy. But if not, I've got £10 coming my way.
Mm-hmm.
If they win the trophy, I've got a bit more money than that, which I will not reveal on here how much, Paul. I'll tell you off air. But going back to now looking at tomorrow's semi-final, it's going to be a big one. France against a Moroccan side who have not conceded, or have only conceded 1 goal, should I say, which was an own goal in the game against Canada in the group stage. That's the only goal they have conceded in the competition. But other than that, they've been fairly compact at the back and have looked really, really good. That's going to be a tough test for France tomorrow, Paul. Your own commentary for that one. How do you see that game going tomorrow between France and Morocco? Who do you think is going to come out on top? And if I can push for a score prediction, what would you say the score is going to be tomorrow in that match?
Well, Morocco have defended superbly in the second stage of the African qualifying. They only conceded 1 goal. They've only conceded 1 goal in this competition, I think, to Canada. But here's the thing: they've not yet faced a front line like what France have got. You've got Mbappe, you've got um, uh, Dembele, you've got Griezmann, and you've got Olivier Giroud. Did not face anything like that yet, and I think they're going to struggle to handle that. I do think France will win, but I don't think it'll be easy. Morocco are a very hard-working team. They defend very well. The goalkeeping's excellent. I think it'll be hard going for France, but I do think that they will win the match.
Yes, if I were to ask you for a prediction, Paul, and a scoreline, what would you say?
It's a tough one, but I'm gonna say 2-0 to France.
You can see if Paul is right for that one when you join him tomorrow evening from about 6:40 tomorrow evening, where you join himself, where you join Paul, Mike Ornament, who's going to be doing the commentary alongside each other, and then you can join Nicholas Jones as well, who will bring you the match tomorrow as well, which will host the game tomorrow. So big thank you to everyone that's tuned in this evening. A big thank you to Paul for his continual contribution to the final, and not to the final, to the channel, should I say. And it'll be good to have him working with us for many more years to come, which hopefully that will be the case, and that will be the case that we can have. So a big thank you there to Paul as well for his continued support on the channel as well. Big thank you to everyone that's
Thank you, Russ.
tuned in this evening. And it's been a pleasure working alongside you, Paul, again. Today, we weren't supposed to work alongside each other on Saturday, and we were well there, and we've worked well together when we've done games on the channel. Luke, it's been on who's I've also worked well with, and you've worked well with him as well, and so has JB and Mark and a few of us on the channel, whether it's been in the World Cup or domestic games as well. He says he reckons it's going to be 2-0 to Morocco tomorrow, so we'll see who's going to be right in that one. But for myself and from Paul will be back tomorrow and maybe back for the final as well. So his commentaries may not be done, but my commentaries are over now for the World Cup. Big thank you to everyone that's listened along to every game that I've done, and a big thank you to those who have tuned in and put their comments in the live chat as well, whether that's been Paul or JB or Mike or Luke or a few of us who have tuned in as well. I just want to say a big thank you to a few other people who've worked on the channel this World Cup with me, which for us this winter, with me being one of the main guys behind the World Cup story. So I'll just just go through a few people that you've heard from this winter on the channel so far, with some people I mentioned. You'll hear more from them as well. You've heard from myself, Russ Vernon, Mike Ornament, Paul James, Nicholas Jones, John Stuttard, Jack Essen, Chris Coughlin, Luke Turton, Sean Kelly as well. So you've heard from those throughout the tournament, whether that's been on commentary or co-coms or in the presenting chair as well, or even appearing as pundits in some of the games as well, and at half time, like I've appeared in some pundits for some of the games as well. So big thanks to those who have tuned into our commentaries on the channel for the World Cup so far. At the end of the World Cup final, I'll say this now, then I'll remind you guys on Sunday as well. We're going to take a break after the World Cup final on the 18th of December. We're going to take a break with Christmas coming up around the corner. We're going to take a break after the 18th of December, and we will return on the 30th of December with domestic action ahead of the FA Cup, which will be on the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th of January, the first full weekend in January. So for myself and from Paul this evening, a very big thank you for tuning in. For myself, who's listened to the coverage that I've done this winter, big thank you very much. You may hear me on the punditry side in the final on Sunday, and also maybe in the third place playoff on Saturday as well. But for myself and from the rest of the team here at the Comment Job, thank you for listening to this first semi-final. It finished Argentina 3, Croatia 0. From Russ Vernon and from Paul, Messi and Alvarez score the goals to break Luka Modric and Croatia's hearts for their chance to win the World Cup. Argentina in the World Cup final will take on either France or Morocco. Find out tomorrow the face from all over the team here. Good night.